Yeah, we wondered if Palace were going to be a little bit off it. You know, lots of games they've played, and we certainly didn't give them an opportunity to get a foothold at all. Dominated, scored the goals from the set pieces, looked very comfortable at times. Be a little bit disappointed to concede one right at the end, but managed to go up the other end and score again. So great performance, great result.
And you can see here the scenes at the end of the match. I mean, it's emptied out now, but there was no one leaving until the end. It was a good old proper sing-along, wasn't it, Bridie, and the players going round and lapping up what was a really big win.
I would have never have predicted that performance. I'm not sure many people would. And I think, you know, like I said at the start of the game, if you'd have said that we were going to beat them 4-1, would have absolutely snapped your hand off. But I think it was just the manner in which we did it. I think from the get-go, from the first minute, you know, we were showing Palace that, you know, you've not come to Ellen Road and you're not going to walk all over us. I don't care who you are in the league or what your form's like. This is Ellen Road. It's our fortress and we're going to put on a game. And that's exactly what we did. It was just a real professional performance. I think, like what Tony said there, you'd find it really difficult to pick a man of the match because they all absolutely played the socks off and, you know, they deserve all the plaudits that they're getting as they're walking around Ellen Road night. Absolutely fantastic performance. One of the performances of the season.
Joe Rodon was shouting at someone and then laughing. I'm not quite sure, but clearly pleased to. Something was frustrating him at the end there, but clearly maybe the clean sheet going, perhaps, Nigel. But possibly. Clearly all of them going round, and the fans here tonight played their part. This place was rocking. A slightly nervous moment at 3-1 when Palace hit the post, but we'll forget about that for just a second. Daniel Farke, what a job he has done. I mean, since he came to the club, in these last few weeks under tremendous pressure. And now he can go round and look back on a run of games where they've just taken 8 points from 4 games. Yeah,
5 games ago, I think people were predicting him to be sacked. And he's turned the club around. He's changed the formation. The players have responded. And he deserves huge credit for that. Even the Liverpool game, to go back to his old formation when they're 2-0 down and to turn things around, he deserves a lot of credit. I'm really pleased for him.
Yeah, and you can see there, I mean, they've gone all the way around the pitch at this point and still no one's left pretty much in the south stand still, because you want to join in these celebrations when they happen, don't you? And I hope we're bringing these pictures, so if you're wherever you're watching across the world, you can get a sense of exactly what it's been like in here. But that is what it's all about, a fan base at one tonight with the players, with the manager, and just enjoying this kind of festive period, starting off brilliantly, Bridie.
Well, I'm hoping the traffic will have died down by the time we leave the studio, but I don't think it's gonna. But no, they're enjoying every moment. And, you know, these Premier League games, they're not easy. No game is easy, and they really have to work hard to get a result. We've seen in the last few weeks, we've shown some really, you know, great resilience and that never say die attitude. And to score 4 goals against a team that are the best defensive record in the league this season is just outstanding. And, you know, they really deserve it. I'm so pleased for them. And we can go into this festive period relaxed.
Very relaxed. It's never relaxing, Bridie. I tell you that. We know that for sure. We all went crazy when Anton Stack scored that wonderful free kick. Nigel went half excited because he had predicted 3-1. So, you know, we'll try and speak to Anton at some point to apologise to you for ruining that prediction. But what a moment it was there at the end. And we'll come to the goal shortly. But just at the end, they kept going, didn't they? And it was a fantastic free kick.
Yes, it was. I mean, you know, it could have been a penalty. We wondered if it was a penalty, you know, from the other end watching here. Clearly, the contact was outside the box. Bridie picked that up in live, so that was really good eyesight from her. But great technique. Got the ball up and down really quickly over the top of the wall, and in behind the keeper doesn't get to see it. So yeah, good finish.
We will be bringing you live reaction from the tunnel as soon as we can. I suspect the players are just enjoying this moment before being dragged away to have a chat with us and you about tonight's performance. But Bridie, what does a run like this and a performance like that do for a squad's togetherness, belief, confidence, and all those things that are integral to being successful?
Well, I think the confidence was high as we started the evening tonight, and I think that's why we talked about what an opportunity this is to play Crystal Palace at this moment in time, and it proved to be correct. And like I said, it's just so exciting for the players to enjoy this moment.
Forgive me. Only hopping in because we have Leeds United captain Ethan Ampadu in the tunnel joining us live here on Matchday Live. Congratulations, a goal for you as well. 4 goals for the team, 3 points, and a nice early Christmas present. Congratulations. How are you feeling after that?
Pretty good. Like you said, it was important for us to keep building momentum, and that's been our message. Probably ever since we had those difficult results, I think we those like 3 or 4 in a row where we lost, and everything looked like it was going to be difficult. The togetherness we showed to get back and show the character, the fighting spirit that is required to play for Leeds United, and then like I said, to keep building momentum. It's been a joy at the minute.
Ethan, Nigel Martin here. Tremendous result. You've had to come out in front of the cameras when the results haven't been good, and fair play to you, you've done that. It's nice for you tonight, scoring as well, to be able to come out and say, yeah, how well we played. I dare say you're going to be in the goal scorers lounge later.
I don't think I belong in that lounge yet. I don't think you score one and get yourself in there. I think I still owe a lot because the amount of times I've hit it over the bar.
Let's take a look at the goal, Ethan. I'm sure you'd like to see it back. Talk us through this because it was such an important moment in the match. Another set piece, and you talk us through this.
Anton puts it always on the money, to be honest, and then we've been caught out in a few times with second phases, so we know how important that is. And I'm not sure why I stayed there for so long, but I'm glad I did. And as I saw the ball coming, and I probably is a good job that I didn't really have much time to think about it. I could just probably stab at home, and thankfully it went in. So now I can tell some people that I scored a goal in the Premier League.
Hi Ethan, Bridie here. Well done on your goal, first of all. Absolutely brilliant, fantastic finish. I just wanted to know, from a fan's point of view, fans look at the fixture list and we look at how difficult our run of games have been throughout December and January, and we almost predict how many points we're going to get, as I'm sure you probably already were. Does the gaffer kind of set you a target as such as to how many points he wants you to get? What's realistic?
I think over the course of the season he does, as he did in the years in the Championship, which is what's normal to get you to achieve the result and the outcome that we want for the season. But we know that each week, game by game, it's gonna be difficult. There's no easy game, and they were the best team in the Premier League away from home, and we knew that, so we had to respect that. But we also have that confidence with Ellen Road behind us.
Just finally, on the Ellen Road behind you thing, just take us into what it's like for you as the players at the end. And no one left here, none of the fans were leaving. They wanted to celebrate with you as you went around all 4 stands. So talk us through, from a player's point of view, after a win like that, what it's like to go around and celebrate with the fans as you did.
No, it's so special, and like you said, there's been spells where we're going round after games where we're very disappointed with ourselves, and rightly so the fans have been, but they've still showed us that support to encourage us and to keep pushing us on. So to enjoy moments like that, it's very good. I know you said a lot of them, well, all of them stayed, but I hope they can get off and go celebrate Christmas now.
Yeah, they will do. We all will. Hope you get a chance to celebrate a bit of Christmas as well. Big games coming up, but thank you for taking some time. Go back, celebrate with the players. We don't want to keep you for too long. Ethan, really appreciate your time here live on LUTV. Thank you.
Thank you. Merry Christmas, everyone.
Thanks,
Yeah.
Ethan. You too.
Thank you.
Great to hear from Ethan. And like you said, Naj, he's one of the players, and we've had captains like that across the years that, regardless of the results, will always come in front of the cameras. But actually, after a win and his goal, first Premier League goal, great moment, and just great to hear from Ethan.
Yeah, I mean, he deserves that because he works tremendously hard, and he has all season. I hate to see what his stats are. It would be so tiring just looking at the stats of how much distance he covers, but also the way he leads by example. He's not one of those that will shout at other people to do something that he won't do himself. And I think that's something that's really coming through this team, how much of a team they are together. You saw Dominic Calvert-Lewin celebrating the 4th goal when it goes in from the substitutes bench. His night's done. He could easily just sort of sit down and not bother, but that shows how much and how much they're together. And that can only be a good thing going forward.
I'll take a look at that goal in a moment, but just very quickly on Ethan Ampadu, before that 3rd goal goes in, and he does this the whole time, he really sets the tone for the team. There was a crunching tackle that goes in the middle of the park. The crowd are up. The next Leeds player follows in, wins the ball. We've seen this numerous times. There's a great clip at the end of the Chelsea game where the Leeds players were doing this. The crowd respond, and that affects the team as well, doesn't it? And then before you know it, they're piling on the pressure. Ethan gets his goal.
He epitomises what Leeds United are all about, and you know, I love the term dirty Leeds, and I think sometimes we're a bit too nice, and but I love the fact that he goes in for them challenges, and like what you said, it really drives the crowd on and drives the team on, and you need players like that, especially during parts of the game when, you know, things can go a little bit flat and a little bit stalemate. A little challenge, well, I say a little challenge, a big challenge like that can really kind of bump everyone up. So yeah, he's a fantastic player, and when he's playing well, the team are playing well.
Okay, let's take a look. You mentioned that fourth goal. I mean, the game was done at that point anyway, so whether this had gone in or not, but a great moment to end a match on, because it leaves everyone on that high. Of course, we conceded the penalty, but Anton Stack showing again from set-piece positions, he's got a free kick on him, Nigel, doesn't he? And we saw that against Wolves. We've seen it here again tonight. Yeah,
it's great technique. You know, he does get the ball up and down very quickly, up over the top of the wall. I think Palace at that point looked as though they were dead and buried themselves, so perhaps not quite as on it as they should have been, because I don't think they were quite set up quite correctly for that. But no, great technique and great finish, and a great way to finish the game. Having conceded a penalty, you know, you don't want to go in on a bit of a downer. You know, that's one to celebrate for everyone.
We all love seeing a goalkeeper rooted to the spot, Nigel, don't we?
Yeah, as long as it's not ours. Yeah, no.
I was going to say, he doesn't know. You don't know that, do you?
Oh, you would never know. Of course, you would have got across to it, of course, Nigel. But yeah, a great moment, and Willie Gnonto, who's come on as well, and he's making an impact in the game, as we've seen with the substitutes that have come on for Leeds. You know, tonight we could go through the team 1 to 11. You mentioned this before. Brendan Aronson back in the team for Altanaka, and he had a great game there, full of energy, full of endeavour, held the ball up well, trickery, all the good stuff that you want to see from Brendan Aronson.
Yeah, well, he was involved in Ampadu's goal, wasn't he? He won the header, and then finally for the fourth goal as well, he won the free kick. So he seemed to be involved in a lot of things that Leeds did well tonight. So yeah, really happy for him.
It's been a really great performance and a great result. It also means, of course, another 3 points on the board, which is the most important thing. That gap is 6 as the buffer, the cushion, whatever you want to call it. And suddenly you look at the table and Leeds are closer to the teams above them than the ones below them. And that's important, both for the points, but also for the players to see that going into the next games.
Yeah, it's good to drag other teams back into it. You know, other teams now looking over their shoulder, you know, they wouldn't have wanted this result. So it brings them back into it. You know, the lads' focus now is straight away going to be on Sunderland, you know, who have started the season brilliantly, and a very tough game up there. But, you know, enjoy this tonight, but turn away and straight away it's the next games around the corner.
Okay, we say the lads will be focused for Sunderland. Tony DeRigo from the start of tonight has been focused on his Christmas turkey. He mentioned that before the match. Let's see if he can now go and enjoy that in a few days' time. Let's cross to our commentary team to get their thoughts after this 4-1 win for Leeds United. Bryn Law and Tony DeRigo.
Well, more of Tony and his turkey perhaps later, but we should talk about the team first, because we've seen really, really good performance from everybody tonight, haven't we?
We have. The momentum we've had for the last few games has clearly been carried on. Ellen Road, it's important that it's an absolute fortress, and that's what it felt like out there. The boys, the pressing, the attitude, the togetherness, just knocked Palace out of their stride. Simple as that. And then you look at the quality of the goals, and lots of way to win a game of football, as I said. And now you look at the free kicks coming in, the corner kicks coming in, and the long throws. Each of them a real dangerous threat. And we were very good at them tonight, and Palace couldn't cope.
That's training ground work, isn't it?
It certainly is. But also, it's okay having the big guys in the box and what have you, but you've got to put the ball in the right places, and you've got to have the belief from those players as well. The ball's coming in, make the runs, and Dominic Calvert-Lewin, certainly a couple of times fed off those and scored a couple of good goals.
We've seen Leeds 2 up previously against Chelsea, but then just slacking off a little bit, start the second half. That intensity was still there second half this evening, wasn't it?
It was.
To see through that period.
It only lasted a minute or so, didn't it, in the second? Because Palace came out. There's no doubt they had a right rollicking at half time. They come out firing, but once we got it back under control again, the pressure, the tempo that we played at was superb. So they could never get it down in a load of space. A couple of times in the first half, you could see they're a very good side, counter-attacking, a lot of bodies forward when they got forward quickly, but they couldn't do that very often at all. And then we started to dictate and control the game. So the pressure, the press from us was superb from minute 1 to minute 90.
Much to enjoy, but I don't think we'll enjoy anything more than the sight of Ethan Ampadu scoring his first ever Premier League goal.
And he deserved it. You know, he's been superb, not just as a leader, but just the way that he's playing, and now he's growing into that role. I look at him and thinking, if there's any time that we need a player just to calm things down or play the right pass at the right time, it's Ethan Ampadu. That's exactly what he does, and you need players like that in your team, and he was superb tonight.
And then to wrap it all up, of course, we have a fantastic free kick just to add the fourth goal from Anton Stach.
Yeah, and Anton Stach, we know against Wolverhampton Wanderers what an incredible free kick that was. But I thought not only was the free kick very good, the way that he played was probably one of his best games, because sometimes he can drift a little bit in and out. Then he got injured, so that was a difficult period for him. But he's coming back, and tonight he was all action. He was everywhere, capped off by a fantastic goal.
You asked this question at full time. Who would you name as a man of the match?
I don't know. I'm struggling because Ampadu, Dominic Calvert-Lewin, Stach, the three centre halves, it goes on and on and on. So what's most important is everyone put a shift in. Everyone did a fantastic job. It's always the strikers that get the man of the match anyway, but Calvert-Lewin's at 6 in 5 now. Long may that continue.
So the importance was that, having watched West Ham lose earlier on in the afternoon, that Leeds had an opportunity to extend that to a 2-game gap effectively now. With the goal difference, actually, currently it's an extra point effectively. That's exactly what's required below, but also above. That gap has also narrowed there.
Well, we talked about that now we can start looking above and dragging a few more, into the fight, if you like. But we also have to be wary that it is in our own hands. It always has been. And home form, we said right at the start, is going to be key. We've had a couple of games where we could have got 1 or 2 more points, but home, when opposition come to Ellen Road, they don't enjoy it. And we've got to keep that going. And certainly out there, Palace did not enjoy that game tonight.
And that is the case now, isn't it? And the home form is good.
It's more than good. It's excellent, and we've given everyone a really good game. We've beaten some good teams, and Palace are a very good side. So I'm sure certainly their manager Glasner will be thinking, well, what hit us? And it's the Ellen Road crowd and the team. That's what hit them.
Well, I think Daniel Farke is on his way to join us any moment now. We're just waiting for Daniel to appear.
Here
around the corner.
is.
Good
Good stuff.
Is
Good
the
stuff.
man himself. Hi there, Daniel. Thank you for joining us. Everything's a pleasure, I'm sure, this evening, because you must be so happy with what you watched here tonight.
Yes, of course. Great win and a great night for everyone who is involved with Leeds United. So complicated. We have played so far the best away team in the Premier League. They had 8 away games, 16 points. They've just conceded 5 goals so far, and then to come away with this result is outstanding. So all the praise goes to the lads. Fantastic night for us.
You must also be very pleased for all that work that you do on the training ground to see the manner of the goals that were scored tonight as well.
Yes, first of all, I'm pleased how the lads executed this plan, because Crystal Palace is so difficult to play. We were a bit like a hybrid team today. We played 5 against the ball and more or less a form formation with the ball. So I ask a lot again from the players. Joe Roden was a bit more like a fullback today, and Jane
More like
Bogle
a winger. Come on,
like a winger. It's so complicated, but how the lads execute the plans we are working on, and we had to do this because otherwise you can't beat Crystal Palace. Is outstanding. And of course today we also showed great quality in the set pieces, but you also have to be good in possession to win the set pieces close to the box, the throw-ins or the corner kicks or the wide area free kicks. And for that, I think with and against the ball, and also in this special situation with the set pieces, we were top class tonight, and for that we fully deserve also this big result.
I think for me that's what stood out. I think in both boxes we were fantastic. We dominated Crystal Palace.
Yes, overall, you have to say in the last weeks we've scored many goals. Pretty happy with this, also against really top opponents and sides who can be rock solid. It's a testament of the quality that what my lads are doing at the moment in the offense. I would have loved today the first clean sheet since a while was not to be, but yeah, also then the reaction, and not to get too nervous. They had another chance, and I think they hit even the post, but then also to go for it and to win the. Yeah, I thought a penalty, but then Anton Stach is nearly more safe right now with free kicks than just a penalty. Anyhow, great goal, and also good for the goal difference that we scored another goal.
So with games coming up, that's the perfect start and the setup to everybody's Christmas period, isn't it, this evening?
Yes, of course, we will have an enjoyable week, but also not losing our being humble and staying grounded anyhow, because we're on a good path. We know this, but we also know that we face many sides who have more opportunities and more individual quality than we have, and for that we have to keep going, and exactly in this way, with a knife between the teeth for each and every game day, a special plan, and then also to execute it in a top way. If you're not on the top level of our potential, then we have no chance, not in one game, but if we keep going like this, and we have definitely a chance also for survival. And right now, at the moment, we're on a good path.
How important do you think is momentum as well? Because we seem to be carrying a lot of momentum into each and every game.
Yes, it's important when you have such a period, and that you ride this momentum and use it also to win as many points, because there will be also perhaps even a bit more tricky periods. And for that, it's great. Out of the last 4 games, to win 8 points is more or less like a Champions League average. And so long may it continue, but it's important that we keep going right now and take this confidence and this self-belief, but also stay greedy and don't give 1% less, and then don't do 1 step less. And so we have to keep going exactly with this fighting edge.
Looking forward to your Christmas day now?
Yes, definitely. We will have a few training sessions around Christmas, of course, as well. But right now, it's of course more enjoyable. Also, hopefully, a bit of family time and to enjoy this. And I wish everyone who is also watching a Merry Christmas, and then have a safe, enjoyable time. And then hopefully we see each other all again in a very important and also difficult away game.
And a happy Christmas to you too, Daniel.
Thank you very much.
Merry Christmas, Daniel.
Merry
Cheers.
All
Excellent.
the best.
Thank you.
Cheers.
Thank you.
It's all smiles at Ellen Road, isn't it? There you go. Daniel Farke. I mean, it's interesting that him saying, 8 points from 4 games it's kind of like a Champions League form, but it just goes to show there are going to be better patches, there are going to be more difficult patches, aren't there? And it's about sort of recognising that, and when you're in those good patches, like you're saying, trying to build on the momentum, Bridie.
I'm just praying that we don't have any injuries, because I think, like what you mentioned earlier, the team are really gelling together and they're really playing to his tune. And Dominic Calvert-Lewin is enjoying his football, you can tell, and he's scoring goals, and every team wants an informed striker. But, things can change. 1 or 2 players get injured, and, it can all change. So I know that sounds quite negative, doesn't it? And we are all smiles. But, I just hope that we can keep this momentum going.
Interesting. I heard from Daniel Farke that Oliver Glasner afterwards saying things in his post-match interview. They couldn't match Leeds' physicality. They couldn't match them for the man-for-man, the individual duels, the set pieces. He called the display embarrassing, is how he described that display from Crystal Palace. And a lot of that is to do with what Leeds did to them, rather than the other way around.
Yeah, it's a very honest assessment. It's exactly what we saw here tonight. Leeds definitely wanted the result more. Man for man. We said whilst right near the end of the game how everyone had played well, and that's purely because they were individually winning their own battles. And if you do that, you'll win the game.
Sunderland away, Liverpool away, and then Manchester United here at Ellen Road. 3 big games coming up. And actually, with the slight change in how it works over Christmas now, the players do get a little bit of a break. Now, when you were playing, Nigel, in the Premier League, this would have been a few days to your next one, Boxing Day, then another one. Actually, there is a little bit of time, and they had coming into this game as well, just to take a bit of a breather.
Yeah, I think it's important for them, and I think the Premier League have realised, for players' welfare probably, to give them more space in between these games, because there's probably lots of injuries and things getting picked up if you're playing, every 2 or 3 days. It was getting a bit too much, a bit too physical for people. So, that's good. We're pleased that Sunderland obviously had to go to the south coast today, so they've had a nice long round trip. So hopefully that affects them.
Yeah, Bridie, confident of a result up at the Stadium of Light now?
I'm looking at the next 3 fixtures and thinking 9 points on the cards.
Beautiful. Love it. Why not? Well, Daniel Farke told us pre-match in his press conference that he was disappointed the Leeds United players had left him out of the Secret Santa this year. Well, they've delivered the perfect gift ahead of Christmas. 3 points and a very happy Ellen Road, and a very Merry Christmas to you, which I'm sure it will be now. We'll see you at the next game here on Matchday Live on LUTV.